Hello, this is Jerry and Annie Sales. We bring our greetings from Florida, where we spend our winters since we've retired, and it is a real pleasure to be able to bring greetings to the Franklin Grove celebration, and we really enjoyed all 4 years there. The Franklin Grove congregation has a long storied history of bringing love, support, and service to not only the members of the Church of the Brethren, but to the community in Franklin Grove. And we are glad to celebrate that with you, and we're glad to be able to do that. We're glad to be able to be a part of that for 4 years, and have many fond memories of the times we were there, the potlucks, the Sunday gatherings, of course, and we did a number of other special things. We did some Wednesday night Bible studies, and just had a lot of fond memories of things that we were a part of. And certainly want to thank the many people of the Franklin Grove Church of the Brethren through the years that made it such a wonderful place. Mm-hmm. And I know the last 15 or 20 years, as the congregation got smaller, many of the same people continued to provide the much needed service, both in maintenance and providing pastoral support when there wasn't a pastor, and just many things that were not always probably as appreciated as they should have been, because I know it was a lot of hard work. And we certainly want to recognize and give credit to the people that did that and kept the church going as long as they did. And I know that it continued to bless many people. Annie, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, it's hard to just pick out a few of the highlights, but as I've been reflecting on it, one of the big highlights for me was when we took our kids to NYC. And I didn't have anything like that when the church I grew up in, and so it was a new experience for me as well. And one of the things we did with our kids was we did a hike, and we had an opportunity to do it with other churches and other groups, and our kids really wanted to do this, just us, and so we did. And we just really had great talks along that hike, and times we sat and rested and just really got to know each one of them a little better and find out how special we already knew they were. But NYC was a really big highlight, and the fundraising that went along with it. How many bake sales and car washes and cherry pies, I guess.
We baked a lot of stuff. We baked a lot of stuff. You baked a lot of stuff. We took it to Walmart.
It was good. Well, baking, I appreciate you guys letting me to bring cookies to kind of match Jerry's theme once in a while. So that was a real fun thing for me to do. And Jerry mentioned the potlucks. Yeah, but first time there with the potluck, it's like, well, we'll see, how they're going to do it a potluck. And man, you guys rocked the potluck. And I think the first thing I tried was the chicken and noodles. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And to homemade ice cream. So it was just, a lot of great memories and a lot of fun. I remember one time it was pretty early on, and we were doing some kind of little workshop or something, and we're all writing down something we're thankful for on a piece of paper. And so my group, we're just talking and laughing. So I wrote down just something funny that just came to mind, and I wrote down cherry shots, because I'll run down the hill where we live and I'll grab a Diet Coke, and they had flavor shots, and if I just put a squirt of cherry in there, it just made it a more memorable experience. And sad to say, but anyway, so I put cherry shots, folded it up, put it in the basket, thought this was going to be kind of a light, fun, getting to know people. And it's all about, peace and help, thankful that we are helping our neighbors, and that with hunger, and, helping in our schools and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just thought, how can I get my piece of paper out of that basket? And pretty soon there it read, I forgot who was reading, but, they said it like 2 or 3 times, like, what, this has to be a mistake. And, I'm like, yeah, unfortunately that was mine. And so that just got to become a joke. I was called that for a while. But anyway, so, but you guys really I was just touched from the day one. You just really welcomed and embraced Jerry as well as myself. And I'll never forget that, just a film of welcoming and love. And you guys truly, truly are Jesus' hands and feet and heart as well. And just your giving and your loving and your sense of community and your sense of service. I'll always have just the fondest memories of all of you. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of jokes, one of the things I like to do when I did the service and gave a sermon, I always try to include a little humor in the sermon. I kind of felt like, well, if they got nothing else out of it, if they could at least get a laugh for the day, that was always good. And I used Annie as my source of humor many times. Although,
Yes.
although occasionally she might have said to me, I wish you wouldn't use me as your source of humor, but I didn't really think she meant it, so I continued to do it. But anyway, one Sunday, she was sick and wasn't able to come, because we still lived in Eureka when we are in Germantown and Eureka, both places when we were pastoring up there, so we were driving back and forth. So it was a long drive, and anyway, I had driven up that Sunday morning, and Annie had stayed home, and I had a joke about her in the sermon. And even though she wasn't there, I went ahead and used it. And I don't even remember what the joke was. She might, but
No, I don't remember.
but you know, he got a good laugh. And but before I got home, after the sermon, before I got home, one of the congregants, Willard, I won't mention it. Well, I guess I did mention his name, had called Annie and apologized for laughing at the joke that I told that Sunday morning, since she wasn't even there, and he felt bad about laughing at it.
I know.
So
I said, it's all good. It's all good, Willard. I will, keep the cherry pies coming, and it's fine. Jerry said whenever he did interject any other kind of joke, it didn't get near the response as the ones maybe pertaining to me did. So anyway, it's fine. But,
I said, she'd tell me not to do it, and I said, well, you got to give the people what they want.
Right.
So,
yeah, right.
But anyway, just such a blessing to be there. The short time, 4 years I think it was, that we were there. But it was such a blessing.
Yeah.
And we just wish you guys all the best, and hope to see you sometime. So thank you for letting us share.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Love you. Bye now.